Yo, guys, what's going on? Welcome to hashtag TNT JoeFi Tech News that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. I am your host, Jerome Ortega. Today is Friday, October 30th. Oh, tomorrow's Halloween. I was supposed to dress up today, and then I was going to, and then I was like, I'm not dressing up. That's going to be weird. The entire time, people are going to be like, what is this guy doing right now? Doing a camera comparison video dressed up as... Anyway, welcome. Happy Friday. Anybody dressing up for Halloween tomorrow? Is anyone doing anything for Halloween tomorrow? With COVID back on the rise, not that it hasn't been on the rise here in the US. It's been awful here. It's just like the numbers are just getting worse. But I don't even know if anyone's doing anything for Halloween. I'm supposed to go to like it's like a 5 or 6 person thing with my cousins, but we'll see how that goes. So welcome, guys. It has been about 24 hours since I've had my Pixel 5. The one thing I've noticed about the feel of this Pixel 5, you know how everyone is saying, you know, recycled aluminum doesn't feel as like premium as like my iPhone 12 Pro. The feeling of this, I just realized what it feels like. It's like construction paper. That's what it feels like to me. It's like having construction paper on the back of this. It's not bad. It feels like construction paper. Pixel 5. It's not bad. Yesterday we went over a couple testing like recording 4K 60. That passed the test. It did 10 plus minutes of recording in that, but it was just sitting on a tripod, so I wasn't moving around or anything. The speakers, so even though the speakers are definitely loud on here, it's the bottom firing speaker that's loud. The top speaker is definitely muffled, and for the most part, you won't really be noticing it unless you're specifically looking for it, but the experience is still different. It doesn't have that stereo kind of effect. That top speaker that's hidden under the display here is definitely muffled. It's more prominent if you're obviously hiding the speaker at the bottom, but I'm not going to lie, like for the most part, you might not notice it, but sometimes when I'm watching videos or whatever on YouTube, I can definitely tell that it's not as rich, as full, as deep sounding as my iPhone 12 Pro. Most people probably won't notice, I'm guessing. Most people might not even like realize it until they accidentally cover the bottom speaker. It doesn't get a pass from me. I still think they should have put an actual top speaker on the Pixel 5, but what they did is they tried to compensate by putting a much louder bottom firing speaker at the bottom. Also, I'm early today. By early, I mean on time. Very on time today, right at 2 p.m. Let me go ahead and say hi to everyone real quick. We do have quite, well, I won't say long, but we are going to be comparing my Pixel 5 to my iPhone 12 Pro. Yesterday, I went shooting at night. I don't have my winter coat yet, so it was so goddamn cold last night, but I tried to take as many pictures as I could at night, testing wide, ultra wide, and then just the normal wide main shooter. So we're going to go over that today. But let me go ahead and say hi to everyone in here. Jason, yo Geronimo, and fam, happy Halloween to those who celebrate. Thank you, Jason. Welcome. William, welcome. What's up? Ahmed, what up, fam? What up, Ahmed? How you doing, man? Yeah. Ernie, what up, team TNT Joe-Fi? I'm on time for once. Yes, you are. Welcome, Ernie. Nice to have you. Manuel, Pixel 5 for the win. We'll see. I want you guys to let me know what you prefer as we go through this. Jay Vidya is in here as well. Yo, Jerome, what up, fam? What up, Jay Vidya? How you doing, man? Welcome, welcome. Prahlad, Krishna, how you doing, man? I'm good. Prahlad, how are you? How are you? Welcome. Javi says, what up, Jerome? Right away, just by looking at those two pictures shot on the iPhone 12 Pro to the yellowish and Pixel 5, still more natural. Javi is talking about my my thumbnail in this video. But we'll go over that. Javi, welcome, welcome. Jay Vidya says, we need the Pixel 6 soon. Yeah, I'd be down for the Pixel 6. I would be. But we'll whenever those rumors come, right now it's Pixel 5 time, Pixel 4a 5G time. Speaking of Pixel 4a 5G, Yassine, am I saying that right, Yassine? Pixel 4a 5G or the Pixel 5? So I mean, I don't have a 4a 5G. I did pre-order mine. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not. I like the Pixel 5 for the form factor. I like it for, well, that's really it. I like the form factor on it. I like the full display that I get on the Pixel 5. But the Pixel 5 is overpriced at $700. So if you're looking for something cheaper that has pretty much the same experience, that has a headphone jack, that has a top speaker, I mean, you will get a bigger display if you want a bigger form factor, but the 4a 5G is the better bang for the buck. I mean, unless you need, dust and water resistance, a 90 hertz refresh rate. I've gone through this so many times. So I think a lot of this is just, for most people, I think the 4a 5G is going to be fine, but that's really your call. So, Yassine, I don't think I've seen you in here before, but welcome. Zane, hey everyone, my Pixel 5 still hasn't arrived. Should have on the 28th and 29th, but still isn't here. That sucks, man. Let me know when you get it. Philip, Conrad, hey, how's it going, Philip? Nice to see you. You're a longtime follower, aren't you not? Are you not? Welcome. Only face masks. What do you mean? Oh, for Halloween. Oskin, hey Jerome, how's it going, Oskin? Welcome. Prahlad, I'm from India, so no Halloween over here. All good. welcome though. So the woo, Bro Montana, what up? Woo. I'm so bad at doing that. The woo, what's going on? Falling Wickets, not sure about the rest of you. Buy candy, no kids, don't buy. 100,000 kids at your door. That's I can see that. Falling Wickets, welcome. Brian, welcome. Friday, TNT Joe Fi. That's right. Serrano, Butler, how's it going? What up, Jerome? What up, Serrano? How you doing, man? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Edgar Hernandez. Hey, Jeff. I mean, Jerome. Damn autocorrect. How's it going, Edgar? Welcome. Robert, I'm noticing the speakers. I put it at 60% and barely hear it. Yeah, you know what? I didn't even try that. I think I've had the speakers pretty loud at this point just to test them out. I wasn't even really like putting it down, but I'll have to. I'm gonna have the entire weekend to kind of go over the phone and really like mess around with it. Real lag. The only time I noticed anything was when I was first. Well, you noticed some of the hiccups already when I first had it, and I was trying to like open some stuff up or something wouldn't work, but since then, the only time it showed any lag was when I was trying to download all my apps at the same time. It does get warm when it's like pushing itself. But like the big things that I've noticed so far is it's a very similar experience to my Pixel 4a. Just it feels more premium. I'm like figuring out where my 4A is, right? It feels more premium than my 4A, but like the experience is very similar, except I have an ultra wide on here, but we're going to go over that in a second. So, let me see. Oskin says, I didn't expect you at this time. I know I'm on time today. I'm on time. What up, slackers? What up, Ed? How's it going, man? What up, what up, Baron? A gray matter. Welcome. Gboy888. Sup, all? Anyone watching on a Pixel 5? Yeah, who's watching on a Pixel 5? Anybody? Deepak Murthy, hello. How's it going, Deepak? Welcome. Tracy Hill, aloha from Hawaii. How's it, bro? I'm good, man. How are you? Nice to see someone from Hawaii. I don't think I've had anyone say that before, but Tracy, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Ricardo Maradiaga, am I saying that right? Greetings from Honduras. Great videos. Thank you, Ricardo. I appreciate you saying that. I don't think I've seen you in here before either, but welcome. Philip says, hey, Jerome, do you have any plans on comparing cameras from several older Pixel phones with the 5 by any chance? Would be super excited to see how they hold up. So the only other older phone I have is my 4A, which isn't even old, and I have a Nexus 6P. I don't have anything else. I got rid of my 3s, my 2s, and the original Pixels. If I ever got a hold of them, I wouldn't mind doing that, but it's not. Yeah, it just, and like time has been very tough for me lately. It's just I've been very busy with like this and like 8 million other things. So if I have time, I'm trying to like balance everything out. Deepak Murthy with a €2 super chat. Deepak Murthy, thank you for the support, Deepak. As always, man. Deepak is a regular here, always coming by, always adding some input. Thank you, man. Thank you for the support. Thank you for helping offsetting costs. Thank you, man. Thank you for showing some love. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Deepak. All righty. Deepak says, in low light, the iPhone 12 has a yellow tint. Pixel 5 has a bluish tint. We're going to go over this. So, Sean, what's going on? Good afternoon. What's going on, Sean? Welcome. The Woo says, my Pixel 5 just did a random reboot. Hopefully it's a one-time thing. Hopefully. Keep me posted, the Woo. Deepak says, Jerome, is low light quality much better on the Pixel 5 compared to the 4A? I don't know. It seems comparable, but I'll do a proper test. I'll try to do one over the weekend. I'll do a proper test with my Pixel 5 and the Pixel 4a. I mean, I still have 12 Pro versus 11 Pro versus Pixel 4 versus wanting to do something on this P40 Pro Plus. But as I get time to like put everything together, we're going to keep doing it. I'm just going to keep working my ass off and try to get as much as I can out. William says the way the Pixel 5 feels a little hollow when touching the screen is kind of weird. I can see what you're saying. I think after owning a Pixel 4a, I mean, like I'm kind of used to it. I see what you're saying though. I can see how that can be a thing. Robert says, you being on time is probably the spookiest thing. That's savage. That's savage, Robert. Piotr, hi Jerome, Pixel 5 here. Great, Piotr. Which color did you get? Unfortunately, noticed the same thing. Almost got used to it now, but it bothers me more than the speakers. Wow, G Burial, how's it going, man? What up, Jerome? TGIF, G Burial, welcome. Battery life on my Pixel 5 is awesome. That's something I'm currently testing. Deepak says, thanks, Jerome. We trust your honest comparisons. I appreciate that, Deepak. I appreciate that. I hardly watch those big tubers anymore. I think they have a different perspective on stuff. I don't know. We all focus on different things. I just like to call it how I see it. I like to give my thoughts on it. Oh, Piotr says he got the green one. That's the one I initially got, but the black one came in first, so that's the one I'm going to be keeping. Javon lurking in the shadows there. What's going on, Javon? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. All right, guys. So what we're going to do is we are going to start to compare the Pixel 5 and my iPhone 12 Pro. So just an FYI, later this evening, maybe in the late afternoon, just depends on how much time I have, you will see the full unedited, you won't have me talking. It's just going to show the photos and then just go through all the pictures so you can compare it for yourselves a little later. So just know that will be coming after all of this, after the stream, but later today for sure. Later today, because I have it all set up. I just have to tweak and put a couple more things together. But so let's go ahead and let's go through the shots I took yesterday. So also FYI, all these shots were taken, none of these photos were unedited, or none of these shots were edited, completely unedited shots, just put out straight through my editing software, all handheld, no tripod, no timers, no nothing like that. And then we'll go back and forth. We'll get some thoughts. I'll give you my thoughts, and then I'll get your opinions as well. So I hear an ambulance or whatever. I'm waiting for it to pass, but okay. Anyway, let me get this set up and ready to go. So okay. I think it's done. So first shot here, Pixel 5, right? Pixel 5. And then as we move forward, iPhone 12 Pro. There's obviously a big difference here. Pixel 5, iPhone 12 Pro. The iPhone 12 Pro is a much brighter shot. It is also, again, a much warmer shot. We've kind of gone through this a lot lately, where I have been testing the iPhone 12 Pro. I've been watching other people do videos on the iPhone 12 Pro, and it looks like the iPhone 12 Pro is really good at brightening up a shot and making things look very yellow, very warm. So this is the main shooter. And then if we compare both side by side, this is what we get, right? So you have the Pixel 5 here, and then you have the iPhone 12 Pro. A lot warmer, a lot brighter. You can see that these lights here are getting overexposed as to what you're seeing here. This light here is overexposed. You see a good amount of haze over here. Yes, you see more down here by the dirt, but is that really necessary at this point? I've said this before. I don't think night shots have to be completely bright. I don't. Not if you're going to start overexposing, if you're going to start blowing things out. I would rather have something that's a little more natural, like what I'm seeing here on the Pixel 5. So I did do zooms and crops, so we can take a look at that here. You'll see that not only is it really overexposed or blowing it out, but it's over sharpening. You're going to see that over sharpening on the edges here. I mean, both have some background noise, but this, it's you can see there's an even black outline starting to come. And this isn't the first time you're going to see this. You're going to see this quite a bit in a lot of these crop shots. So I think both show detail fine, but this is just overdoing it at this point. There's another cropped shot here as well. And you can see this as well. So this even shows more, right? So in this crop shot, so let me just go back to right here. That's over here. That's what that crop shot is, all the way in the back there. That's what this looks like. So here's that black outline, and here is that black outline again, right? This black outline on this iPhone 12 Pro, you don't see that. You can even kind of make the letters out here a lot better on the Pixel 5. It's not blowing it out on the 12 Pro. Look at this top light here. Look at that get overblown. even here, right? Like these are small things, but at this point, if we're comparing $1,000 phones to $700 phones, we might as well point these things out. This is only the first shot. This doesn't mean that the 12 Pro is better. You need to make that assumption for yourself, especially considering what you want. But right here, like in this shot, I prefer the Pixel 5. I think the Pixel 5 is the better rounded shot. If there were two people standing here, maybe that might make a difference, but I would still pick the Pixel 5 here in this shot. So let's go ahead and let's move on to the next set. And so this next set is actually the same. So except this was shot on an ultra wide. In this instance now, so here's the original on the Pixel 5, and then here is the ultra wide on the Pixel 5. And then on the iPhone 12 Pro. So the one thing you can notice as well is look how, like in terms of field of view, you can see that the iPhone 12 Pro is a wider shot. 107 degrees, 120. 107, 120. Here's something to note. The ultra wide at night for both of them, don't expect a lot. They're not going to be the best. They're not going to be the best. They're not. I think they both have a lot of work that needs to be done, but are they the best ultra wides on the market today? I don't have many other phones to reference that to. So, I mean, you know, $1,000 phone, $700 phone, but this can also be had on a not a $350 phone, a $500 phone. So, okay, when we go and take a look at them side by side, they look similar in color, right? They look similar in color on the ultra wides, but when you look at them in their main shooters here, you can tell this is a warmer shot. This is more of a natural shot. But as soon as we go to the ultra wide, the color palette looks very similar. So as I look at both of these right now, like this is a McDonald's here, and you can see both of these are a little overexposed. The one on the 12 Pro might look a little more overexposed, but there's still more of like a haze kind of thing coming from this ultra wide. Again, both of these shots aren't the best. I wouldn't expect too much from the ultra wide even at night. They're doable, like they're serviceable, but they're not the best. Here's something I've noticed though. When you start to zoom in, when you start to crop through this, you'll notice that they handle it differently. The Pixel 5 will smooth a lot of this stuff out, while the 12 Pro will keep that grain, add that grain. So you can still see maybe a little more over sharpening on the 12 Pro, because like both show detail, but neither of them are that great. Not in the ultra wide format. And then as we go to that same back shot, so like, yeah, they're nothing special. The 12 Pro has an advantage of being the wider shot. Is it the better shot? I don't know. This looks like it has a little more clarity in the trees. If we look down here, like at the foreground, I mean, they do look similar. It does look like the 12 Pro has a little more contrast. This might be a little more detailed. I should have maybe cropped into the pay parking sign on here, but in the ultra wide shot, they look similar. In their main shot, they do have some differences. So let's go ahead and let's move on to the next set of shots here. So this is the Pixel 5. This is the Pixel 5. The main shooter using night sight, but this is also a very dark shot. When I took this is in a very dark alley. The only thing that was bright was this light here. There aren't many lights that are this bright. It's just some people I think are more paranoid about how bright their lights are, but this was like super bright. It was so bright that in this shot here with the iPhone 12 Pro, you could night mode wasn't getting activated. Night mode didn't work at all. This is just a straight night shot. I tried it twice. Both times it would not activate night mode. And I wasn't going to purposely turn on night mode because then you have to give it like a number of seconds to turn on or what. And like, I wasn't going to mess with that. So I just thought, well, we might as well compare the two. So the Pixel 5 night sight, the iPhone 12 Pro without night mode, it wouldn't activate. And then if we're looking at it side by side, I did put here night mode did not activate. The Pixel 5 is still a nice shot. This is still showing a very like well lit, even for a night shot kind of shot. It is a bit brighter, so the sky isn't as dark. It's a little bluer. There's more that you can see around here, but the 12 Pro does look like just a night shot in general. They're both good shots. I think the 12 Pro didn't activate night mode because this light was so bright. And then again, we're going to go into the actual ultra wide, right? So this is the ultra wide on the Pixel 5 with night sight, which looks pretty good, right? For a night shot. Here's the original again. If I can get to the right, there we go. So Pixel 5 main shooter, Pixel 5 ultra wide. It's not bad. It's not bad. The 12 Pro, again, look at the 12 Pro in a very like warmer kind of light. A much yellow kind of looking light with the ultra wide shot. It is again a wider shot. As I zoom back and forth, you can see that wider shot show up. It does look like the 12 Pro shows a bit more. The Pixel 5 even looks like it has a greenish tint to it. And then if we go side by side, right, with ultra wide on the Pixel 5 and the 12 Pro, again, this warmer shot is very apparent. This looks yellow. This is yellow down here. This kind of is like leaning on a green kind of look. And then I did do a couple crop shots as well. So as we go through this crop shot here, again, both of them are not the greatest. You'll see again, the 12 Pro goes with this like real grainy look. The Pixel 5, everything is blurred out. It's very muddy. It's very just like, you can't get a lot out of it. The details aren't as clear as the main shooter. I think most people saw this coming anyway. Which one is better? I mean, in detail, the 12 Pro looks like it's better, but that color, the yellowing isn't really my kind of thing. It looks just a bit too yellow here, just a bit much. Although this green isn't the best either. So it's kind of give or take, at least for me. And then this second part of crop shots is further in the back alley. I was looking at this number here. This is either 4851 or 4852, but they both seem pretty legible. It's just one is blurred. One has a lot of grain, a lot of noise to it. I think this is their way of trying to like fix the imperfections in their cameras. I'm just like looking at chat and seeing the Woo says, damn, bro, taking alley shots. On the north side of Chicago, it's not, honestly, it's not so bad. It's not that bad. Brian says the 12 Pro is too warm. It is. It's a bit warm. Funny Vines. How's it going, Funny Vines? I kind of like the 12 Pro, although I still think Apple has to put out the software needed for the 12 Pro. I hear that. Neil says, I think I prefer the 12 Pro on the ultra wide. And we'll go through the rest of these. We'll go through the rest of these. The Woo says, can you adjust the hue on the iPhone? Great shots, but the yellow is killing me. I don't know if you can. I really don't know if you can. Usually when I shoot with my camera phones, I usually just tap to focus. That's the most like fixing I really do. I like to shoot mine auto for the most part because I have my DSLR. If I really wanted to make adjustments, I do all my manual adjustments on my DSLR. With smartphones, I just like to point and shoot. That's usually me though. I don't know if you can. I don't know if somebody can chime in with that. Which one has more faithful colors? You mean accurate colors? Let me go through the rest of this because I've only done night shots. I haven't even done day shots yet on them. But I know doing the 12 Pro already with the 4A had more natural colors, if that's what you're asking. I'm pretty sure the Pixel 5 will have more natural colors than the 12 Pro, which is weird because that used to never be the thing. But yeah. Guri Gill, am I saying that right, Guri? How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. The iPhone has a larger sensor, yet has way more noise in all the night sight shots. It does. And you're going to see that. Well, I don't know if it has more noise in the main sensor, but in the ultra wide shots, it does. We'll go through it. We'll go through it. Philip says their yellow tint reminds me of the Galaxy S6 low light shots. I don't even remember what those look like, but thank you for sharing that. Angus, how's it going, Angus? Vardy White. The 12 is more pleasing, but the Pixel is maybe more accurate. That's a good way of saying that too. I also can't wait for the Pro Max with the bigger sensors. So that's what I'm going to get. I'm actually going to trade in my 12 Pro. I'm going to trade in my 12 Pro and get the 12 Pro Max to really see how much better the camera is on there. I might just be wasting my money, but we'll see. So where do we go here? Let's go ahead and let's move on to this next set of shots. So this is what I started, or this was a thumbnail that I showed. So this is an ultra wide shot. This kind of shot isn't really attainable with just the regular main sensor, especially this close to where I was standing. And so this is where the field of view really makes a big deal. So here's the Pixel 5. Here's the iPhone 12 Pro. The iPhone 12 Pro is able to capture a lot more, and that's obvious. Pixel 5, iPhone 12 Pro. Right? You can just see more with the 12 Pro. You can see it goes higher up here. You're able to see more of this church than you are on the Pixel 5. Now, the 12 Pro, again, is shooting on the warmer side. There is a bit more light coming here. I don't know if a car was passing by. I don't think there was. I think there's just a light that sits there. Yeah, I think there was, because there's a light that's shining here that's not as bright on the iPhone 12 Pro as it is on the Pixel 5. And then as we go through both of these, so again, the 12 Pro has a much wider shot. You can see more. So this is a good representation of what 107 degrees field of view is versus 120. I'm standing in the same spot. I didn't move my feet. This gives you just a little more to see in your wide angle shot, which might be important for some people. It's the reason that I'm pointing it out. You might as well see what this is about. So this Pixel 5 has more of like a bluish hue, a cooler tone, a warmer tone on the 12 Pro. This looks like it's doing it a bit much over here, though. I don't think it was that bright. I can almost guarantee you it wasn't that bright. Sorry, my phone's going off. Let me put this on silent. Both of these were in a much darker area. It's just when you use night sight or night mode, they're going to like pop up those shots. They're going to brighten the shots up. If we looked at a cropped version, so you can see here, again, it's a lot more yellow, but you can see this Pixel 5 is a little more overexposed in this ultra wide. Remember, this is an ultra wide shot. This isn't the main sensor. The detail looks a lot better here on the 12 Pro. This is a lot more soft on the 5 than what's showing here on the 12 Pro. This looks like it's able to handle the detail a bit better. Again, there's more grain here, and then how the 5 is handling it, it just blurs it out. It kind of like muddies it out in the ultra wide shot. And then as we go higher in this church shot, so you'll see, I was focusing right here above that door. So as we go here again, right, the 12 Pro is better. In this set of shots, the 12 Pro is obviously better. This is soft. It's just missing, the detail that the 12 Pro is giving you. It doesn't mean, sorry, my ear just popped and it's annoying. Sinuses, whatever, congestion, whatever. Okay, I'll live through it. I'll survive. The 12 Pro is giving you more detail here, regardless of more grain or noise. I would rather take this than what I'm seeing here on the Pixel 5. But if you're looking at just the overall shot, that might depend on you. Maybe you don't like all this yellow, but maybe you do appreciate the wider field of view. Maybe you need that extra like 13 degrees of field of view that the Pixel 5 isn't able to give you. Maybe this over brightening here on the bottom left is too much. In this set of shots, I prefer the 12 Pro for a lot of these, just for the fact that I can get the wider shot. Yes, it's more yellow, but the detail looks a little bit better here. So again, there isn't one clear winner. At least I don't think so just yet. And these are only night shots, and this is only one set of shots that I've taken, but I'll continue to do this. I'll continue to make more. It kind of sucks because I can't really travel much because I don't take public trans right now. Well, I try. I've done it once, but like I'm only taking shots in my neighborhood. The one thing I love about camera comparisons is that I get to go all over Chicago and take different things. And I keep trying to find new things in my area, and there's still going to be a lot of stuff to take, but I need to get, anyway, it doesn't, I just love to show everybody different parts of Chicago. So let's go ahead. Let's move on to the next set of shots here. This is just a neighborhood shot. I was trying to aim up here at the moon. Again, this is another ultra wide shot. I don't know if I labeled that out here, but so Pixel 5, right? Somebody walking their dog, a for rent sign. Looks like a pretty clear shot. And then when we take a look at the iPhone 12 Pro, again, also a clear shot, a lot of weird reflections and dots up here, but let's go ahead and let's go back and forth here. So Pixel 5, 12 Pro, Pixel 5, 12 Pro. I obviously did not handle this the right way because it looked like my aiming was a little off, but just to give you a comparison of the two. So this is, I don't know, maybe this car here like ruined the entire shot, but the 12 Pro was still going to be the brighter shot regardless, I believe. So even like all of these dots up here, you see a little bit here on the Pixel 5. They're both very bright. The 12 Pro a lot brighter than the 5. Just an FYI, in the city of Chicago, in the neighborhood areas, like not on the main streets is what I mean, it's so much darker than this. There's no way. Please don't think that this is how bright the streets are in Chicago, because they're dark. They are not this bright. It is lit up in our city just to make sure that like people are safe and they can like walk around and not like fear for their lives every day. But this is way too bright. I did tap to focus on the moon here just to like kind of give it a little more like, so it wouldn't overexpose or whatever. They're both comparable. This might be more of a subjective thing if there's one that you like more than the other. But yeah, so let's go ahead and let's move on. I didn't zoom on anything in particular here. So here's another, because I was talking about brighter shots and darker shots or whatever, this shot was like, this was almost in like black darkness, like really like dark light. And I don't know, both of these phones just like do an absurd job in like trying to bring as much light as possible. Like it's as if there was a light behind me. And there might have been the street light or whatever, but this is just like, it's too much. It's too much. Look at this 12 Pro. Look at how bright this is. This is not what I want out of a night. I want to be able to take a shot at night, but not like this, not where it's just like ridiculous. It's as if there was a big light behind me and I don't know. So we're looking at both. This is starting to like get so bright that this kind of like, even like, it looks like it's whiting it out. The greens here, I guess, you know, there's a bit more color. This looks like there's more contrast here. Whether or not this is more detail or it's just because they're over sharpening, I don't know. If you look at these skulls here, that's what I was really trying to focus on. I tapped to focus on this skull. And what I ended up doing was I cropped between both of these. So you can see here, okay, so they're both bright. This is the left skull. This is the one over here on the left side, right? And if we crop into it, like you can see the over sharpening being done here on the 12 Pro. That doesn't really show as much on the 5. It looks like there's more detail on the 12 Pro, but again, I don't know if this is a mix of more detail or just over sharpening. But you can see that over sharpening, like to the point where these edges are starting to like get really distorted, right? This doesn't look like it's happening here. If we move on to the next one, which is the other set of skulls, you can see that over sharpening is ridiculous here on the 12 Pro. It's too much. It's definitely too much. It's like, why did Apple decide to really start over sharpening their shit? Again, There might be more detail here, but I can't really tell because it just looks like everything's so like, look at this. This is like even turning a different color here. That's not being shown here at all. Like if you look at the teeth or whatever, it's just so different. It's so different how both of these process their shots. So I don't know what you like better. This is the main shooter. This isn't the ultra wide. This is just how these shots will turn out for some of them. They just turn out way too much brighter. What's nice about the Pixel 5 is you can actually adjust some of the, well, I guess the thing about the Pixel 5 is if you don't want to take a night shot, if you don't want to use night sight, then you don't have to use night sight. You can also turn it off on the 12 Pro. You can turn off that night mode feature, but for me, I like to be able to just use a phone, tap and shoot, tap and shoot. I don't like to take a shot and be like, well, is it going to turn out this way or that way? I wish for both of these, they would just turn their night sight or night mode down a notch, at least in this specific set of shots. I don't think they're always going to be perfect, but maybe that's room for improvement when it comes to the AI. All right. So the next set here, Pixel 5, this is the main shooter. A really nice night sight shot, a really nice shot. This is another dark street with a couple street lights and other street lights, like, you know, decorations or whatever. Pixel 5 and then 12 Pro. It's so goddamn bright. Why is it so bright? Okay, so I prefer the Pixel 5 shot, obviously. I like that it still looks like a night shot and it doesn't look like whatever this is here. It's just way too much. It's way too much. So again, a lot of this can just be adjusted if you want to turn that shit off. You don't have to deal with it. But like for me, I want to be able to test what auto gives you. And this is what auto is going to give you. So Pixel 5, iPhone 12 Pro. And then if we compare the two, yes, the 12 Pro is a brighter shot. Maybe this is what you prefer. I don't mean to laugh, but to me, it just seems funny. It just seems like it's too much. I would prefer something that still looks like it's a night shot, but gives you a nice looking autumn, fall, Halloween-y kind of shot. And that's what I get here with the Pixel 5. Yes, it's darker. You might not see as much, but I don't expect to see a ton in the like deep dark night. Brian Lau with $1 super chat. Brian, thank you so much, man. Thank you for supporting as always. Brian is always like a huge supporter, super chatting in almost every stream. Brian, thank you so much, man. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for showing some love. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. All right, let me actually, since I'm here, let me take a second and kind of go through some of the chat here. Philip says, if you guys want a more true to life night sight shot, simply adjust the brightness toggle. Right, when tapping to focus gives you an authentic shot. Try it out. And so that's usually how I take a lot of my shots, not the brightness slider, but like, let's say I don't want such a bright night sight shot. Usually I will focus. So for example, I focused on this street light here. Usually the way I take my shots is I'll tap to focus on a bright light, so it'll tone down the entire shot overall. That's usually how I do it. So I tap to focus here on the Pixel 5, but I also tap to focus on the 12 Pro. I try to stay consistent when I do that. So thanks for sharing that. Funny Vine says, wow, I really like this shot. I do too. It came out really well. Jason is asking, without the neural core, how do you feel the Pixel 5 handles the workload? So like there is an obvious lag to it, but I was also like, here's the thing, Jason. I was out for an hour last night. Not even an hour. I think it was 15 minutes. It was so goddamn cold. I wasn't even paying attention. It was just like, take the shot, put the phone away, put your hands in your pockets, find the next shot. So it was too cold. It was like 35 last night. I don't have a jacket yet. I was just wearing a hoodie like this. So there is a lag, but I can't give you that much of an experience until like I get a little more time with that. So, all right. Did I use a tripod? No, I didn't. So I was saying earlier, Funny Vines, I was doing everything handheld. I do take shots tripod wise, but usually when I do that, I'll usually do it in more specific scenarios. But in these set of shots, in my latest camera comparison videos, they've mostly been handheld. I do try to hold it as well as possible and try to like, I mean, obviously you can see me here. I'm standing here holding the phones, but no tripod there. So, All right, let's go ahead. Let's move on to the next set because we still have quite a bit to go through. Well, I don't know, maybe not. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, maybe 6 or 7 other set of shots here. So let's go ahead. Let's move on to the next set. This again is the same exact shot. The same exact shot as what I took earlier. Again, the Pixel 5 and then the Pixel 5, but ultra wide. So this is an ultra wide shot. You can see the difference is already pretty drastic, right? Pixel 5 main, Pixel 5 ultra wide, iPhone 12 ultra wide, iPhone 12 Pro ultra wide, and you can see a big difference. Again, a lot warmer. Look at the orange though in the trees. When I first took this shot on my phones and I saw it, I was like, wow, that 12 Pro looks really good. And then I looked again and I'm like, my God, the contrast is just way too much. There's just too much in that tree there. Yes, there was orange leaves. There were orange leaves, but it's just way too much. If we look at the shot, this is obviously way overdone, over sharpened. The pops of color are way too much pops of color. The Pixel 5 is going to give you the more natural shot here. I mean, look at the sky even. Like, this is so blue here. I'm just trying to pinpoint anything else out. But the one thing that I do want to point out, oh, the Woo with a $2 super chat. Let's get Jerome a jacket. I'm working on a jacket. The Woo. The Woo, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Thank you for showing some support, man. As always, appreciate the love. Appreciate you guys coming by, checking it out. Again, for anyone that's new here, if you haven't had a chance, please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. It is a way to show support. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys stopping by. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. I do camera comparisons like these live now. I do stream weekdays at 2 p.m. Central. So, any kind of support like that, I appreciate it. The Woo, thank you guys. Thank you for the super chats today. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. All right. So as we look at both of these, right? I did do a cropped in version, just so you guys know. Look at this 12 Pro. This 12 Pro, look at this. Like, what is going on here? So here's the Pixel 5. This is the same area. This is the same area right here. But even though you can see different colors here, the iPhone 12 Pro just decided, okay, let's make all of this orange. Let's make all of this shit here orange. Instead of giving it any kind of color, let's put orange and yellow. Which is just like, what? What did... Pretty bad. Philip Conrad with a €229. I'm in. Philip Conrad, thank you. Thank you, Philip. Thank you for being such a long time subscriber. Thanks for following me throughout everything, man. Despite like going from high production videos to like not being around and coming back or whatever, and now being consistent with streams to having you on stream here watching. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Philip. Thank you so much for showing some love. All right. So, yeah, my choice here for this ultra wide shot is the Pixel 5. This 12 Pro, while that orange looks nice from afar, like it just looks a little ridiculous when you see it close up, right? This is just like muddied. The Pixel 5 is going to give you a more natural shot here. Now, it might not make a difference to some people. Most people aren't pixel peeping. They're not zooming in. But again, when we're talking about such expensive phones, and like, it's hard to compare what's better than the other. I like to like see what makes a difference. What is making these phones look better than the others? So, all right, moving on to the next set. This is just another neighborhood shot, Pixel 5, and then the 12 Pro. So looking at this right away, the 12 Pro just looks like the shot that has a little more clarity, has a little more detail. Now, again, I cannot tell for sure if they're over sharpening, but my guess is they probably are. You can see the detail in the concrete here or the pavement or whatever is a lot more, I guess, I don't want to say the word showy, but it's also brighter. But as we go back and forth, you can see that a brighter shot with a little more contrast. But the thing is, that brighter shot is going to offset a little bit with a little overexposing, with blowing out some of the lights. So if we look at the Pixel 5 and we look at the 12 Pro, take a look at this light here, right? Take a look at this getting overblown. If you want a better comparison, look at this light over here. You can still pick this apart on the Pixel 5. You can still see the windows here. Here you can't. Overblown, like the 12 Pro is overblown here. It's not over here. These are little things, but these are things to point out. These are things that might make a difference, especially if you were taking a night shot that had more light and like brighter light. So even as I look at this, even though the 12 Pro shows a little more clarity, I mean, even the Pixel 5 though still shows some kind of like weird hazing. I don't know what it is with that haze. Like it looks like it's able to handle the exposure properly, but there's some kind of weird haze to it on the main shooter, which is a little like disconcerting too. So it would kind of be like if the iPhone 12 Pro could just like tone it down a little bit with its brightness, and the Pixel 5, I don't know what happened here, but it's not the first time I've seen this either. Anyway, just like I wasn't going to spend too much time on this, but just something to point out. So let's go ahead. Let's move on to the next set here. Again, the same set of shots, but an ultra wide shot. Now, this ultra wide shot, the color here is off. There's something weird about the color here on the Pixel 5. I don't know what happened. This can be a consistency thing as well, but Pixel 5, iPhone 12 Pro, the iPhone 12 Pro is again like a warmer shot, but the color doesn't look as off as what I'm looking at here. It's like a greenish, I think a greenish tint is maybe a good way to put it. Do you see what I'm saying? As we flip back and forth, something just seems a little off with it. And then if we look at it with both ultra wide, again, the ultra wide sensors, lenses or whatever are not the greatest. I wouldn't put too much emphasis on that. If this is like the main thing that you're buying the phone for, just know that at night, at least so far from my testing, I don't think they're both going to be like superb. They're not going to be as good as the main sensor. But in this set of shots, I prefer the 12 Pro. Something happened here with the Pixel 5. Maybe that's not how it was supposed to come out, but if anything, it just might be an inconsistency issue. So, all right, next set. So Pixel 5, right? And then 12 Pro. And then again, the 12 Pro is over brightening the entire shot. Pixel 5, 12 Pro. And then if we look at both, so they don't look as bad here when they go side by side, but the easiest way to figure out if it's overblowing is to look at these lights right here. Like this just looks like a string of lights where this looks like it's individually placed. You can look at the street lights here compared to what you can see here. It's just a lot brighter on the 12 Pro. I think I did take a crop shot here and you can see that overexposing. You might be able to like this Argyle Street sign might look brighter, but it's still very legible with night sight on the Pixel 5. Like you can see these bulbs are just, I mean, you can still pick them apart, which is nice. They just don't look like one big string of lights or anything, but the Pixel 5 just seems to be handling that brightness a lot better. It's not over brightening the shot for the sake of over brightening the shot. Again, 12 Pro, Pixel 5. I will say, the one thing the Pixel 5 still does on the main shooter is there's so much background noise here. There's so much grain up here. It's funny that on the ultra wide shots, it doesn't show grain. It just blurs everything out. But here, this is just like really apparent still. On the 12 Pro, you don't really have that. It's good at taking that noise away. So that's one thing that kind of like bugs me about this Pixel. And like, this is not just the Pixel 5. This is the 4. This is the 3. I don't know what it is. It's like they can't get the blacks right on here for some reason. They're not able to like figure that part out. So, okay. I did take an ultra wide shot of this as well, just so you can see. So the Pixel 5 ultra wide, right? Doesn't look bad. and then the iPhone 12 Pro. This iPhone 12 Pro shot, this ultra wide shot on this 12 Pro looks like it was like a filter was applied to it to smoothen everything out. Like it's missing so much shit in this shot. Look at the Pixel 5 again. Like, yes, the 12 Pro is the wider shot, but I'll point it out in a second. Look at right here. Here, I'm going to show you right now. Look at these trees back here. Look at the trees right here, right? You see this? So you see the trees here on the Pixel 5? Where did they go on the 12 Pro? They just decided to like disappear. Pixel 5, 12 Pro. And then if we look at both, you can see it's like they smoothed everything out. It's such a smooth shot. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out which is the better ultra wide sensor. And I think it kind of like goes back and forth. I think I have liked more of the Pixel 5 ones than I did the 12 Pro. I just wish that the Pixel 5 was capable of giving you a little wider of a shot, but it's not the end of the world either. 107 degrees is still a good amount of like a wide shot overall. So, where are we at here? Next set, Pixel 5, and then I tap to focus on this perm sign, and then 12 Pro. Pixel 5, 12 Pro. I will be honest. I might be laughing at this 12 Pro because it's so bright, but I could have had the Pixel 5 just have a tad more brightness in the shot. It is looking a little dark overall, but the 12 Pro is way too bright. And then we compare the two. It's as if we could just take both of these shots, put them together, and then give us the one in the middle. I don't know which one I like better. This one could be kind of subjective too. So I think really what I'm pointing out here is both are not perfect. If you guys watched my video on the Pixel 4a versus the iPhone 12 Pro, that might give you also an idea of, do I need to spend $1,000 on a 12 Pro? Do I need that $1,000 camera? Or can I use the $350 camera on the Pixel 4a? Do I need to spend $700 on a Pixel 5? Or can I just spend $500 on a Pixel 4a 5G because the camera experience is going to be the same either? So yeah. I'm just looking at chat real quick. Ilir, am I saying that right? Ilir Kami. Was the night sight on? Yeah, it was on. Every single shot here was with night sight. Everything was with night sight. I did tap to focus here, but yes, night sight was on. So Neil says this shot is like night and day. Exactly. Funny Vines, everything was turned on. I didn't turn anything off on the 12 Pro. So let me go ahead. Let's get on to the next set here. We're like kind of coming to the last two shots here. So this again is an ultra wide shot. You can see this just looks ridiculous here on this ultra wide, but I love ultra wide shots because you can take shots like this. You can take much wider shots. So like, this is just a small example. I wish I was in other parts of Chicago, but I'm just able to like go by my neighborhood for now. But I love when I just see buildings like this all throughout like one street, but like, I like this building. So I was like, oh, let me take a shot of that. This light though looks ridiculous. And then the 12 Pro isn't any better. Well, no, actually it looks better, I think. But the 12 Pro is a much, much wider shot. Like this is like the power of 120 versus 107 then. 107 degree field of view, 120. 107, 120. I like the 12 Pro here better. The Pixel 5 actually looks brighter. It kind of like up this here. I can't remember what I tapped to focus. It was either this light or this one. I don't remember, but I tapped the same for both of the shots. So again, 120, 107. And then if we compare the two side by side, that's what you get. The 107 degree ultra wide is not bad. It doesn't mean that you need the wider shot. I'm just giving you an example of like what 107 and 120 gives you when you compare the two. The 12 Pro will give you the wider shot, but do you need that much of a wider shot? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe if you live like it, like for example, if I was taking these shots in downtown Chicago, this ultra wide on the 12 Pro would have probably been a lot more useful for me, because usually you're surrounded by tall buildings all day. And sometimes you might not have the space to take the entire shot because the streets, you don't want to be standing in the middle of the street or whatever. But in this instance, I don't think no one would really notice like 107 and 120 in this specific example. But I will say I do like the 12 Pro here. One, because it handles this light better. Two, like it just doesn't seem as bright. You guys know how I feel. I like it when you brighten up a shot, but not by too much. Okay. The last set of shots I have here, I've taken this shot before, but like this shot, just to, like show some street art or whatever. This is with the Pixel 5, again, with the ultra wide, and then with the iPhone 12 Pro, Pixel 5, iPhone 12 Pro. Again, it looks like the Pixel 5 a little brighter than it should have been, but the 12 Pro looks a little soft as well. Like it looks like I would prefer the 12 Pro here. Yeah. But the 12 Pro looks a bit soft. I mean, the Pixel 5 would probably be a little soft too. I didn't do like a zoom cropped in version of it, but that's how these two both look. So that's I think that's everything that I had for these, right? Yeah. I think those are the shots that I had. What do you guys think? How do you feel after watching this? And like, those are only night shots. I still have to do video. I still have to do day shots. I still have to test. I can't really test. I mean, I can test portrait, but the portraits are going to look off because there's no telephoto. Where's my Pixel 5? There's no telephoto on my Pixel 5. So portrait shots aren't going to look similar to each other, which is a little unfortunate. I still wish they put a telephoto on the Pixel 5. I mean, you're going to charge us $700. You might as well give us all three. It's a little unfortunate that they didn't, but I got to do those tests as well. So you guys will get a glimpse of how those look. But if you guys had to pick one from just what you saw today, is there one that you prefer over the other? In those set of shots, was there a specific set like that outweighed one or the other? And I don't mean to say that, like, give me your bias. Don't just say, oh, Pixel, because I'm a Pixel guy. Like, is there one that you actually looked at that you thought just turned out better? So, Will, my $550 Pixel 5 is good. So like, Will actually was showing me, he texted me and was talking about if you buy the phone from Visible, you get a $200 prepaid gift card. So I was looking into that. You still have to get 2 months of service under them, but the service is only $25 a month, and you only need to do 2 months, and then you can cancel afterwards, and then you get a $200 gift card. So I was thinking about doing that, and that might be a much, much better deal. But I'm going to have to take a look at that. Tony Kim, how's it going, Tony? Thanks, Jerome, for the work. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I enjoy doing these. I enjoy going over them. I enjoy like picking the parts. I enjoy picking the little things apart. And even though I can't do them in the same high production value as I used to do, because I just don't have the time, it's still fun for me to do. I like being able to like figure out which is the better camera phone. I still feel like the Pixel 5 won in some aspects here at night. The iPhone 12 Pro won in some other aspects at night. But I don't know if there's a clear winner yet. I still have a lot more testing to do. So when I do, I'll keep you guys posted. So, Funny Vine says, I feel like Apple still has to do software changes for the 12/Pro. I can see that. I mean, I think a lot of them have work to do. I just saw this article or this poll from Android Authority that, I mean, they were pretty much just saying like, Google just needs to really upgrade their hardware. Like other companies have caught up. They're no longer the leading edge of camera. And I agree. They're not there anymore. I just want Google to keep upping their game, but maybe the Pixel 6, maybe. Tony says, I can't choose from pictures alone. I'd have to factor in ecosystem and software. And that's true. And then other things like battery and other things that like are a priority to you. There are so many things that go with that. Definitely a lot of things that go with that. Deepak says, fantastic comparison, Jerome. Thank you, Deepak. I would pick the Pixel 5 for colors and the iPhone 12 for the extra 120 degrees. There you go. There you go. Zane, nice work. Thank you. Thank you. Mandu says Apple prices are the reason why I just can't buy an iPhone. And I don't blame you. I mean, price makes a big deal too. You got to factor that in. We're still talking about a $300 difference in both of these phones, $700 versus $1,000. So, but then again, there's no telephoto on the Pixel 5 either. The Woo says night sight equals Pixel 5 for the win. The hue on the iPhone was a deal breaker for me. Way too warm. And fair enough. Fair enough. Anthony says, can't believe Google is still better than most with old hardware. That's true. I wonder if they have tested new sensors, but can't get the algorithms right yet. So they haven't changed it. And I think that's what a lot of people are speculating. We don't know if Google's figured it out yet. Not sure if, yeah, I don't know where they stand with that. I'm just waiting for some new hardware. I would love to see some new hardware than what they have, just because I would love for them to use bigger sensors and then figure out the whole software part to go with it. William says there was an article saying that Google is focusing on hardware next year, generally speaking, not specifically phones though. Interesting. Thank you. Thank you. Robert says, and you didn't do video or else Pixel would have been slaughtered. That's the thing though. Will it? You think so? I'm wondering. I'm going to try to do that this weekend. So if I can, I'll be able to share it. And then we'll go over it. Mandu says, how does Samsung do? I don't know. I haven't bought a Samsung phone in a while. I don't have money to buy like all these other phones anymore. Samsung is usually on the high end of the pack though. Samsung's usually not far behind. Samsung's usually up there with Google and Apple. I don't know if they are better than Google and Apple when it comes to cameras. Maybe they have. I don't know. It's been a while. I know OnePlus still has some work to do, but yeah. So Brian says pretty even for now. I can see that. I can see that too. Romy G. Am I saying that right? Thanks for the comparison and stream. You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. So yeah, Alir says Samsung is comparable. I can agree with that. With the Samsungs I've tested in terms of the camera is what I mean. They've seemed pretty comparable. They've seemed pretty decent for me. Once again, I can't wait for those 47% larger sensors on the Pro Max. Me neither. I just don't want to like get my hopes up. And so here's the thing, funny vines about this is when Apple had their Apple event or whatever it's called, and they talked about the 12 and the 12 Pro and X% amount more light and whatever, it made me excited for the 12 and the 12 Pro, thinking I was going to get these camera phones that were just going to be, but like in the end, from what I'm seeing so far, I'm just seeing a lot of brighter shots. There, to be fair, I've done other shots in the day where like I can actually see some difference in detail. Like detail looks a little better compared to the 11 Pro. Detail looks a little better here and there, and that's great. But sometimes some of the shots are just way too bright. And I'm just like, when you are telling me that it gets more light in and whatever, don't just give me brighter shots. I just don't think that's the way to do it. But I mean, you know what? I just don't want to like hype myself up for the 12 Pro Max and then get it and be like, I knew it. I should have just, so I'm just like trying to keep my cool when it comes to that. Alir, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Tony says, good luck taking a good picture of a moving object on a Samsung. Well, there you go. I don't know. I don't know much about it. Robert saying Samsung can't take a clear shot if you move slightly. I'm surprised. Okay, so you guys know more than I do when it comes to that. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Soul King says, congrats for your work. You're among the best. Thank you, Soul King. I appreciate that. I believe that at home 12 Pro Max will all agree. Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah. So, I mean, Robert says, I don't think the 12 Pro Max is really going to be a major upgrade. You'll see some difference, but not like the percentages they're giving. And that's kind of how I feel about it at this point. I just don't want to like get my hopes up and then get it and just be like, but here's the thing. That's why like I'm returning my 12 Pro, because it's like for $100 more to get all this extra shit that they're saying is going to be on it. I might as well just try it out and then I guess use the 12 Pro Max for the year. That's going to be a big ass phone in my pocket. What I don't like about Samsung is they're using a kind of beauty filter. I agree too. That's a great point, Dougie. Definitely a great point. Definitely a great point. All right, guys, that is our hour. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully it was entertaining. Hopefully you learned something. Today is Friday, so that means I will not be streaming until Monday, but come back on Monday. I'll probably have some other camera comparisons that I'll be doing over the weekend to put together to share with you guys later this afternoon or this evening. I will put the video of all the photos you saw today. I'll put them all out so you can compare them for yourselves and like just give yourself an idea of how any of those look. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Have a happy Halloween if that's something you celebrate. If you're dressing up, put your costume on. Tag me on Twitter so I can take a look at what you dressed up as. I'm going to be dressing up as, well, I'm going to be dressing up too. So I'll take a picture. I'll either put it on my Twitter or my Instagram. If you guys don't follow me, you should. Look for me at Phone Jerome. You can follow me there. I post pictures of my 12 Pro, of my 11 Pro, my Pixel 4a, my 5. Like I do a lot of shit there too. So feel free to check me out. Otherwise, guys, come back Monday. We'll do it all over again. More camera comparisons, more talk about Pixels, etc., etc. Guys, have a great weekend. I will see you Monday. Bye.